Welcome to my top video channel. Subscribe and like this video. Watch new story.
Birdie and the Other Bird. Hello, this is Jana, and welcome to Story Nori. Birdie is a rather special crow who can talk. He's befriended a boy called Jake, who thinks that Birdie is unique, a true one-off. Until... well, listen to the story and find out. And at the end of the story, we have a bonus, an excerpt from our friends at the Stories, Science and Secrets podcast. Jake is a lucky boy. He sometimes enjoys 2 bedtime stories, one from his dad and another told by his best friend Birdie, the black crow who perches on his window pane. One evening, while Dad was reading The Wind in the Willows, the full moon shone brightly above the rooftops across the street. As his father gently closed the book and tiptoed out of the room, Jake piped up, "Dad, has anyone ever visited the moon? I know Birdie's been up there, but have any human people actually walked on the moon?" "Oh, why yes," said Dad. "In 1969, in fact, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon's surface saying, 'That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind.' And a few years later, another astronaut played golf up there." "Who was he playing against? The man on the moon?" Jake asked. "Oh no," Dad chuckled. "He was just having some fun." Jake nodded and closed his eyes. As Dad quietly lowered the door handle to leave, Jake had another question. "Dad, how do we know it's true that those guys went to the moon? I mean, how do we know they didn't just make it all up like a story?" "Oh, well," said Dad, pausing, "we have to trust our eyes. We saw it on TV and read about it in the news. But actually, some people think it was all staged in a TV studio." "I bet they did that," said Jake. Dad smiled. "I think it's simplest to believe that they did what they said they did. If it were all just a fake story, many people would have to be in on the lie, wouldn't they?" "Yeah, I suppose so," said Jake. "Because a lot of people think I made up Birdie." "Do they? Like who?" Dad asked, shaking his head, seeming surprised. "Well, like Elle." "Well, she is your sister. You should expect her to be the last person to back you up. It's called sibling rivalry." "Oh, okay," said Jake. "You can go now, Dad, because it's time for Birdie to turn up." "Sweet dreams," said Dad, smiling as he closed the door softly behind him. Birdie turned up 5 minutes later than usual. When he hopped into the room, Jake asked, "Where have you been?"
"Oh, just up to the moon to collect a bit of moon